My AI business makes me $533,000 every single month, but I'm not selling flashy agentic workflows, building apps with Claude Code, or telling people to run their business with Claudebot. Instead, I run a business that's been proven for years, but that AI just made it way better. It's by far the best opportunity to get to 6 figures a month right now. And the crazy part is, almost no one is doing this because they're too distracted chasing the shiny AI stuff they see all over YouTube. So in this video, I'm going to break down what's the best opportunity right now and what exactly my boring business is and the step-by-step process to start yours. But first, you need to understand something. With how much AI has advanced in the last years, businesses are falling into 2 categories. The first ones are pure hype businesses, and you can find these ones all over YouTube. Every single week, there's a new AI business model blowing up, a new automation, a new AI agency model, or a new app that you can build in a weekend. And what's crazy is that people jump on every single one of these thinking it's going to make them rich just because it's something new. But here's the problem with building a business around AI. They may be simple and cheap to start, but when you can build something with AI in a weekend with no skills or expertise, everyone else can do the exact same thing. You can think of these businesses like AI models. Every few months, a new AI model drops that's better, faster, and cheaper. And the second this happens, everybody stops using the last one, just like Claude Code did to NAN. That's exactly what happens to these businesses. The moment a new tool or update drops, their clients can now get the same results without hiring them. And then there's the second type of business, the traditionalists. And honestly, this one might be even worse because these are businesses that are proven to work, but they're refusing to get the most out of AI. They're usually service businesses like paid ad agencies, web design, or email marketing. These are services that have huge value and that businesses pay good money for. And because of this, they think that they don't need AI. But refusing to use AI, they're leaving a massive amount of money on the table. Because right now, every task, every process, and every deliverable is being done manually. And that means they can only serve so many clients in a single day, which means they can only make so much money each day. So on one side, you have the hype chasers, using the power of AI to build stuff that has zero value. And on the other side, you have the traditionalists. You have something valuable, but are bleeding money every month because they won't adapt. But then there's the third type of business that most people won't even think about. And my business fits into that bucket, which is what enables us to make over $6 million a year. And this year, we're going to do $10 million. These are AI-powered service businesses. They combine the value of service businesses and the power of AI to build something that's proven to work and irreplaceable. This model just takes a service business that are already paying for and uses AI to deliver it faster and better. It's as simple and as boring as that. And this is exactly what I did in my business. You can apply the same strategy to almost any type of service business. When I was 17 years old, I started business connecting brands with influencers and helping them run successful campaigns. When I started, there was almost no AI. I had to do almost everything manually, and I spent hours scrolling through YouTube and Instagram trying to find the right creators. Then I'd manually pull their contact info, write every single outreach email from scratch, and track everything in messy spreadsheets. It worked, but it was painfully slow. But then AI tools started getting good, and I noticed that other agencies were starting to use them. They were finding influencers and launching campaigns faster than I ever could. And that's when I realized that if I didn't adapt, the competition was going to beat me. So I kept everything that made my business valuable, the strategy that we can provide, the relationships, the deal negotiation, basically all the expertise that me and the team have built over years, and using AI for everything else. And the results, well, they were insane. We could suddenly take way more clients on without hiring a massive team, and we could deliver better results because we were spending less time on the boring stuff. And that's how I got my agency to over $6 million in revenue. And you can do the same with any type of business that solves a problem and requires actual thinking to work. You simply take a boring service that's already working and use AI to make it 10 times better. So here are the exact steps to go ahead and do that yourself. First, you're going to need to know what you're going to sell. And this is where the most people mess up because they pick the wrong thing. Here's what I mean. There are 2 types of problems you can solve for a business. The first type is a nice to have, something like organizing an email inbox. Like, it's useful and can save people some time and stress, but who's going to pay you thousands a month for that? And even if you have clients, the second they need to save money, you're going to be one of the first things they're going to cut. But the second type allows you to charge thousands per month. The second type is a high impact problem. These are problems that are directly connected to money, like getting a business more customers, helping them close more sales, or running ads that bring them revenue every single month. When you solve that kind of problem, they're not an expense, you're an investment, because every dollar they pay you, they're making $3, $4, or $5 back. And that's why they keep paying you month after month. If you need proof, Just look at what businesses actually spend money on. On average, businesses in the US spend between $2,500 and $12,000 every single month on marketing. Businesses also spend up to $65,000 a year just on website maintenance. Because if their site goes down or stops working properly, they're literally losing customers every single hour that it's broken. So they'll happily pay someone to make sure that that never happens. Businesses pay this because these are solutions that will make them or save them money. And that's the type of problem that you want to solve. Something directly tied to making them more money. But don't spend too much time thinking about this, because most services that make or save companies money are just worth offering. This video is designed to help you improve any high-ticket service just by adding AI into the mix. Once you've chosen the service you're offering, you need to figure out what niche to serve. Your niche is simply the section of the market that you work with and specialize with. It's crucial that you pick one, because otherwise you'll be a generalist, and generalists just can't charge premium prices. There's a reason you wouldn't want a GP to work in your heart. You want a cardiologist. And because of that, cardiologists can charge 100 times what the GP is able to charge. Now here's how you actually pick one. And this is a lot simpler than you guys might think. First, pick one type of business like e-commerce brands, clothing brands, personal brands, influencers, or even SaaS companies. You can simply choose the one that you know best. For example, I chose gaming brands and influencers because I was a gamer. Not only does this turn you into a specialist like we discussed, but it just makes your life so much easier. It's much easier to understand one person than to understand everyone. Then figure out the one thing that this type of business is always struggling with. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be getting more customers or making more sales. That's what almost every business will pay serious money to solve. So let me give you some real examples of what this looks like. You could run, say, Facebook ads or Google ads for local businesses to get them more appointments. You could handle social media content for brands so they stay visible and keep attracting new clients. You could do SEO so they show up in Google and get free traffic every single month. Or in this day and age, AEO, so they can rank whenever someone asks AI models like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini for information. These are all services that companies already pay thousands for. Now, once you pick this service, this is where AI makes the whole thing 10 times better. The reality is, you only have so many hours in a day, and in those hours, you can only do so much work. So what happens when you start getting more clients? You either hire more people, which eats into your profit, or you say no to new clients. And all of those options suck. But this is where AI completely changes the game. Let me make this super simple. In my agency, finding the right influencers for campaigns used to take my team hours scrolling, checking metrics, pulling contact info, and putting it all into a spreadsheet. Now we use AI to do all of that in minutes. But here's the thing, we don't automate everything. Actual strategy is still done manually. Decisions like which influencer to reach out to, choosing the right fit for a specific brand, how to structure the campaign are still done by me and my team. Because that's where my years of experience actually matter. AI just took all the boring stuff off my plate so I could focus on the parts that actually get my clients the results they want. And this works for literally any service out there. Let's say you build websites for local businesses. Before AI, you spent hours writing all the copy, setting up pages, and sourcing images. Now you can use AI to generate a full first draft of the site in minutes, and then you go in and finish it off with your design skills and your knowledge of what works for that client. Instead of one website taking a full week, you're done in maybe like 2 days. That means you can take on twice as many clients in the same amount of time. Or let's say you run Facebook ads for local businesses. You normally spend hours writing ad copy, testing headlines, building landing pages, and pulling together reports for the clients. With AI, you can get the first draft of all of those things done in minutes. So now you're spending your time on stuff that actually matters, like optimizing their campaigns, adjusting the strategy, and talking to the client. The stuff that actually gets them results. And whatever service you pick, process is the same. Find the repetitive parts. The AI handle those, and you focus on the parts that actually need you and your knowledge. Because your knowledge is what makes your entire business valuable. For example, anyone can go on ChatGPT right now and ask them to write a contract. All that legal information is available for free. But lawyers aren't going anywhere because their value is not just in knowing the law. It's about knowing how to apply it to your specific situation in a way that gets the result that you need. And that's what people pay them for. Their judgment and their experience, not just purely for their information. And the same thing happens with your service. AI is a tool and you're the expert that knows how to use it. And that combination is what makes you really valuable in this modern day and age. And it's what keeps clients paying you month after month. So now you've got your service and you know how to use AI to deliver it faster, and you understand what to keep doing yourself. But none of this matters if people don't trust you enough to actually work with you. And right now, earning trust is harder than it's ever been. Right now, your prospects are getting hammered with hundreds of messages from people offering similar services. AI turned low effort outreach into something that business owners read every day, which means you can stand out by just putting in a little more effort. And one of the easiest ways to instantly build trust and separate yourself from the rest is to have a professional website that makes you look legitimate. Now, 5 years ago, building a website would have taken weeks and cost thousands. But with AI tools, you can have a professional website up and running in literally minutes. Most of them will just ask you for a simple description of your business to build a website. So you can type something like, we help brands get this outcome with this service, and we specialize in this niche. And within seconds, you'll have a professional website. And now when you reach out to a prospect, you're not just some random person in your inbox. You're a professional with a website and a credible brand. And that credibility is what gets people to actually answer you. Now, once you've got your service dialed in and your brand looking professional, and I recommend using the tool Hostinger, which is linked in the description, to get your website set up. The next step is actually where most people will make the worst mistakes, because everyone's first instinct is cold email. And I get it, you can use AI to send thousands of emails a day. It sounds great, and it's something that I would have loved to have done when I started my business. But here's the current state of outreach. Since AI made it so easy, now everyone and their grandma is doing it. Every business owner you can think of is waking up to hundreds of AI generated emails every single morning, all written with the same tools, the same templates, and saying the same generic stuff. It's basically spam at this point, and nobody reads spam. So what actually works? DMs on LinkedIn and Instagram. And I know that sounds boring compared to blasting thousands of emails completely automated, but this is literally how my business has generated millions in deals. I have closed over $10 million worth of deals. And the reason is simple, because when you DM someone, they can click your profile and see that you're a real person. It's the instant social proof effect. They can see your face, what you do, and the content you post. It's an actual human interaction. And right now that's extremely rare, which is exactly why it works. So let me walk you through exactly how I do this. The first thing is your profile needs to be dialed in, because when someone gets your message, the first thing they're going to do is click on your name and check you out. And if your profile is empty or confusing, well, they're instantly gone. So make it super obvious about what you do and who you help. Think of your profile like a shop window. If someone walked past it and can't tell what you sell in 2 seconds, they're just not coming in the shop. They're just going to keep on walking. After that, you need to start looking for the right people. You want the ones who actually make decisions about where the money is spent, like the founder, the CEO, or the department directors. You can even use AI to help you find these people. Instead of spending hours scrolling through LinkedIn, you can use tools like Hosting Horizons or Replit to build a simple lead finder that pulls up prospects in your specific niche. But once you find your perfect client, you need to do one last thing before you send them a DM. This is the part that most people skip, and it's the reason they get ignored. Before you ever send a pitch, you need to warm them up. Like their posts, leave a comment that actually says something useful, or reply to their stories for about a week. Now when your name pops up in their inbox, they'll think, I've seen this person around, instead of, who the hell is this? Only then do you send the message. Because you don't want it to sound like a sales pitch. You need to send something that feels like a casual conversation. Like, hey name, I've been following brand and love what you're doing in your latest campaign. I run a business that helps companies like yours get more clients without spending more time on client acquisition. I'd love to see if there's a way that we can support what you're working on. Would it be cool if I sent over some examples of what we've done for some similar brands, and you could even name drop the brands there? You're not trying to get married in the first message. You're just seeing if there's going to be a first date. And here's the part that nobody wants to hear. Most of the money is going to be in the follow-up. Most people send one message, maybe 3 or 4, hear nothing, and give up. But the people who are growing their business are following up 5, 7, and even up to 9 times, because that's how you show that you're truly interested in working with them. So if you follow the approach that I just walked you through every day for 90 days, I'd be genuinely shocked if you haven't closed at least a few deals. Now, you probably realize that the real money in AI isn't in offering AI systems, AI workflows, or AI automations, but in using it to run a service-based business that can't be replaced. And that's what I'm going to be teaching you guys on this channel. I built a business that generates over $6 million a year and is pacing to do $10 million this year using this exact approach. And the goal here is to give you the practical playbook to do the same. So if that sounds good, subscribe, because I'm going to be uploading more videos on how you can create your own AI-powered service business. That's all for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.